When we look at the management research, the top performing organizations are those that emphasize 2/3 culture, 1/3 financial results. The lowest performing organizations focus solely on financial results. Second, in the middle is those that focus on culture. So first is that management, that kind of combination of culture and finance, and last is finance. Yet as a society, we measure financial return. What kind of tips would you give to other CEOs on how to measure culture?
Yeah, so I'm not sure that you said 2/3 is what the research shows. I'm not sure that I would necessarily understand why 2/3. I think that the idea is that culture has to be interwoven with the business side of it, with the success metrics, however you want to define success metrics. In fact, that's probably one of the first answers. How does one define success metrics? So as a bank, we have a pyramid we've drawn, and the base of the pyramid is actually financial results mostly, because without the financial results, we won't continue in business. But then we move from the financial results at the base to the idea of, well, what kind of outputs are we having that are generating positive impacts in the community? So it's a progressive model from the bottom to the top, but it integrates those things. And I don't know whether it's 2/3, 1/3, but it's probably a balanced approach to both culture and outcomes. So if you're trying to understand what your culture really is, first start with your own metrics. How are you defining success? Because people in the end, that's what you're going to expect from people. That's really what you're going to inspect, is what you expect. If it's all about certain financial metrics, you can have all the cultural statements in the world, but your actions speak louder than words. Your rewards speak louder than the mission statement. So it's going to ultimately come down to how you're really measuring your success. So I would say coming to grips with the metrics of success would be one thing. I think secondly, what is the commitment to the employee? Is it performance coaching? Is it the idea that I want them to be successful? And is that wrapped into a bigger picture of where's this person going in their life? Take a long-term view as a human being. Where are they going to go? Let's not pretend that they're going to spend their whole life at our business. They're not. They're going to be here for a while. There's sort of, if you will, a mutual contract for a period of time while they're working with us together in this organization, but they're going to move on. So let's acknowledge that and say, how can I help them move on? How can I help them leave here as a raving fan? Someone that will look back and say, that was a great place. I really felt I found myself. I contributed to that company, but I found myself and learned more about myself, and now I've moved on and do other things. So that vision of an employee, I think, is also important. I think practically doing an employee opinion survey, and lots of companies do. It's a very popular thing. But what do you do with that employee opinion survey? And how does that inform the way the business is run? Those surveys are great. They can ask all kinds of questions about how the business is run. Is it a trust-based business? Is it a business that encourages trust and therefore productive conflict and common agreement to goals? Or is it a very competitive, every man for themselves kind of business? So those would be a few things that I think would make a big difference.
Definitely.